Welcome, guys, to another episode of Kids Cafe. It's your boy, Indigo Child, and it's another episode, another enticing day. And I've got Nokuthula Khumalo. How are you, Nokuthula?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm
Actually,
good. I'm good. How was your day?
yeah, my day. Okay, my day started off very nice. Yeah, but nothing much. Obviously, I had to get ready, but I had a few meetings before I came here. So now that was kind of like taking my time. Hence why I was a little bit late. But I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I'm here. Thank you. Period.
You're making us feel insignificant. It's like, man,
No. You also look great, and I like that une match.
Oh, no, thank you.
Nje, like
Thank
into
you.
zakho zime online basically. I like that.
I'm trying. I'm just really trying. And I think that at another level or stage, there comes a point where it's like you need to take something serious. You know?
Ne?
Yeah. So
Especially in this economy, Ramaphosa,
Hey,
you
so,
need to make sure that your things
It's
are
a shit
just.
yakho ukuthi mawusuqala funding.
But
Where's your
ziphinto
stuff?
zakho.
Yeah,
Yabona?
I've been always
Yeah.
operating.
Mm.
This sit down, we're supposed to have this sit down, I think even first semester for me.
Right? Yeah.
It was time, and I'm sure you're like asking this guy, what's happening? And the nice thing is that we went to the SABC interview. Why did you say something there?
You know, the reason why I didn't say something was because I was so disappointed with the conversation.
What was disappointing about the conversation?
I felt like they brought speakers that were not really aware of what they were talking about. I just felt like they were just really out of line, especially the NYDA guy, to be quite honest.
I'll put him on the spot. He's Utuso.
No, Utuso was definitely out of it. It's like acting like NYDA is the savior and it was able to save so many people. You know? Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Because we know NYDA, for the fact that I don't even want to say this, but for the fact that the senior researcher at some point was a person that didn't have a metric, like, doesn't make sense, you know? Yeah, I think there was a scandal along those lines, you know?
But it's expected.
Yeah.
So my question was, I asked them, what should I do since I've already started this whole podcasting and this whole movement? And this guy's like, I'm telling you straight, how do we access this funding that you guys are
talking about?
There's so much red tape towards it. It's like, no, you need leadership skills. You need to go to CFA. You need to go to CSADA, I think. Yes. And I was like, okay, no, I don't mind that. But at the same time, I'm kind of... And the lady also mentioned something about collaboration. Who needs collaboration?
Oh, please, man. I feel like I don't even want to say our government, but literally our government is just taking us for a ride, hey? Like, I mean, that's why I didn't even want to say anything on that day, because I just felt like they were just trying really to make us even more angry. It was like crazy, actually. It was actually like not, but I did speak to the other guys.
Yes, I saw. Yeah, you started speaking to them especially after the
after the interview, and also the fact they mentioned that humanities, you know, they were just trying to bash like the humanities degree, talking about how it's really not, you know, good enough and it will not take you where you want to go and all of these things. And I'm just like, we've had this conversation for such a long time, and I don't know at this point what you want us to say, you know, because there are people that are actually studying this degree. So what must they do now? Do you know? Yeah.
So on call, I spoke to you about how I would like to conduct this. I didn't want to make it like strictly academic where I have questions for you.
Yeah.
More of running it as a conversation. But I have ghosts.
Yeah. I saw her.
So firstly, let's start it off with maybe your biography. Okay. Very interesting and very long. Because
long. You were sitting with Dr. Siwisa. Yeah, imagine that guy. You know, he's like, when I was watching that interview, I literally thought to myself, like, oh my god.
But you need to look at the age gap.
Yes, okay, yes, there's that as well.
He's been living.
He's like
a few clocks on the mind.
Yes. He's done so much. He's done so much. And I when I listened to some of the things that he mentioned, and when he spoke about going to Oxford, going to Oxford and meeting other African
people that were almost like immigrants.
Yes, and they were speaking about our democracy and how we are actually going
the same route
towards that direction.
Said something very profound. It's like most African countries that have seeked the independence and revolution at the later stage, corruption and maladministration becomes a big force for these guys. And
like for
when you're
real.
with his friends, since we had there was this new South Africa that was born, his friends were busy telling him what South Africa is going the same route.
Exactly. And we're seeing it now. July has been such a it's a lot. We're finding out a lot, Yabo. But scam. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to be here. I feel honored actually. You know, this is my first interview basically where I'm speaking about my career, maybe about the things that I've done.
YFM and your political analyst for UJFM.
Yeah, but like that's different. That's like
time
work.
To reflect some of maybe these ideologies with your own personal life?
No, it's strictly work because they just for the most part, yeah, I think last week with UJFM, just because it was my first day, I could say that we did have a conversation about my career, where I've been, some of the things that I've done, but it's just strictly work. You know, I'm just there to comment about what's going on in politics, international relations, and all of those things. So I've never actually had like about a sit down where someone is really asking about my career, what I've done, where I've been.
When did you say when would you recall that your political consciousness grew? What age and when?
I think it started young, hey? Because my grandmom, if you grew up in the township, you know, we normally have...
What township?
I grew up in the Val, right? There's a small... Not really Val, but just Soweto, middle of Soweto and Val. Okay. So there's a small township there called Fine Town, just next to Orange Farm. So that's where I basically grew up, right? So my grandmom was like a street committee. So she was part of the street committee. And so in my home, there'd always be these meetings. Abantu, they always coming to complain about, yes, I didn't pay me. You know, those things.
But what do they use? How would you know about this thing? They would report to you, Gokwako, what? Was Gokwako a community leader or something?
Yeah, she was a community leader, like a street committee. Like they would call them street committees, like community leader. Yes. Yeah, like they... I also lived in the hood. Yeah, those kind of people, right? So I think that's when I started... not affiliating, but just... And subconsciously, I'd say, because it wasn't a thing that I was very conscious about. It was very subconscious. And I think that's how I started... understanding community and wanting to help community, you know. I think that's how it basically started.
So you're a foot soldier, you're on the ground like that?
I'm on the ground like that. I've always been on the ground like that.
You look like you're on the ground. You look like you
But like, things change, people grow, and I decided to make it a career more than like just being affiliated with a political party and being part of party politics. You know, I don't think that's my thing particularly, but I'm more like the background person that actually makes the machine work, you know, I think. Yeah.
I think, your feistiness really intrigues me. And I think your whole background of everything you've did really makes up sense when now you're showing us all this character.
Yeah.
You did a degree in Northwest?
I did a degree in Northwest, yeah.
Political
science and law. Yeah, majored in politics and law, yeah.
And then you're currently doing an honors degree in UJ?
Yeah, for politics and international relations.
Yeah. And when did you go to China?
Chinese story. No, it's fine. So I'm going to take you back, right? So I went to Northwest University. I did my degree, which initially I wanted to do an LLB, right? But there was no space, you know, and I think they were trying to sell this new course to people, basically, because I think it was a new course-ish, right? Where you're majoring in political modules and also in like your law modules. So they were like, no, just do this course, Yabo, and then later on you can move on to like your LLB, right? And I was like, yeah, it makes sense, you know, at least I'm gonna do both of these things. And then I went on and I did my law and politics, but I found law very challenging, especially if you don't do it as a major, like if you're not studying law like completely, you know, because I had just like small modules here and there, and then I also had political modules here and there. So it was like so difficult for me to understand both of these things completely, you know. And so the law part of my studying career kind of like fell off, and the politics kind of like became a thing. Yeah. So and I liked politics because I could express how I feel, you know, and I feel like law is very straightforward, case law, statutes, and all of those things.
Industry
Yeah, it's very straightforward. But with politics, I think I had leeway to like really speak about my feelings and speak about
like what you relate to. I think,
and then that's how I really like fell in love with politics. But I really didn't know at the time what I wanted to do, because the law thing was still at the back of my mind. Like, I've always wanted to become a lawyer. I was like, I need to become a lawyer. That's what I want to do. So when I continued with my BA in politics and law, I didn't know what I wanted to become. Like, I didn't have you know, when you like, I want to become a political analyst, or I want to become an intelligence analyst, you kind of like have a name for it. I didn't have that. But I continued, you know, I was like, I'll find something to like, you know. And then when I finished my my degree in 2019, the year 2019, right? I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But like, as I was just scrolling on like Twitter, then MTN had free Twitter. Free Twitter. So like, as I was scrolling, I saw this lady. She just posted like, oh, if you're interested in going to China, DM me or something like that. And I was like, okay, but I'm gonna DM her, like, I have nothing to lose. And I DM'd her and I was like, yeah, I'm interested, you know. And she was like, okay, I'll add you to this group, blah, 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 blah. She added me to the group. Cool. When she added me to the group, I saw that there were other people there who were interested, blah, 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 and there were other people that have already been there, and she was already there. So obviously she was documenting her life. Like, we could see, okay, this is a real thing. So it's not like
because that is scary.
That's scary. Like, just in DMing like somebody randomly. But okay, she really proved herself that she was working at the time. She was working for EF. It was very popular.
What's EF?
English first.
Oh, English first.
Yeah, so it was very popular in Asia. You know, it was like a
even
big.
till now, is it still a market, or it's about
yeah, it's a lot of them now, but then it was like a big thing. Fast forward, they made me communicate with some of the foreigners that were already there working for the company. You know, all of these things. So yeah, fast forward in September, I then moved Vele to China, you know. So yeah, that's basically how I got.
And how did you find the country? How did you find the? Were you actually maybe a bit involved with the politics?
At the time, like, I was just applying for jobs, and I had gotten an opportunity actually to work for Brand South Africa, right? And I was supposed to join their team in October, but like, because it was like in October, I was like, oh, but there's this China thing going on, so like, I'm really gonna go for the China thing just because it made more sense.
Oh, okay. Were you actually maybe exposed to some sort of like real communism that side? Because
okay, when I moved to China, it was different, like different culture. Obviously, like there was a lot of culture shock, you know. And I would say that at face value, you wouldn't see it. Like at face value, like, but like when you really start looking into things, like there's the firewall, right, where you cannot access like your Instagram, your WhatsApp, your, you know, all of these things, your TikTok. What
social medias do they have?
They have a Chinese version of all the medias that we have, but they just, I feel like they just don't want a communication between the Chinese people and the outside world. So they just kind of like have their own you know, space.
Do you think that's good?
To be quite honest, it's not good, you know, because you don't become open-minded, you know. You don't become open-minded.
It preserves the culture and the Chinese culture as a whole, though.
But I feel like you can still preserve culture without actually being that like rigorous about it and being authoritarian about it. You know, you can still achieve those goals of like.
I think for me, one of the reasons maybe they might be doing it, is it not maybe first of all pornography? Could it not be misconception of other countries spreading different ideologies into this? So I think it's mostly like, let's not corrupt our people.
But it's like, that's like
doesn't it
taking
a bigger picture in the long run?
Well, I mean, you can look at it differently, you know, you can look at it differently, but I feel like it's important to engage with the outside world and to like be open-minded and see how other people are living and how other, because like for example, if you're black in China, it's a big thing, right? When they see a black person, they're like, oh my god, you're black.
I've seen
like,
videos
you know?
on Instagram of
Yeah.
black people being in like in these Asian countries.
Yes.
And then they'll be just following the black
and
person
then
with the
taking a
camera.
picture, yeah, but so all of these things. But I guess it's part of communism, and a lot of people that say, oh yeah, dictatorship or communism is good, right? I think we make examples of those countries. There's no freedom. There's no freedom of speech. Like in China, everything is censored. You know, there's certain things that you cannot speak about. You cannot speak about the government. You cannot speak about the president.
So you cannot critique.
You cannot critique at all. They censor everything. You know. So I think basically the reason why the firewall is there from what I think,
Yes.
right? It's basically because of that, just to censor everything, to make sure that people don't really know the true nature of what's really going on. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, for example, we know that President Ramaphosa is this and this and this, and we can
Go on public
yes,
platforms
and say that our president is 1, 2, 3, 4. But you know, when you're in China, you cannot do that. You have to always be conscious about what you talk about. You know.
Is live execution still a thing? That's it.
Yeah, like
I just hear it.
I don't like those
Not that I'm
things.
saying you
I've seen it, yeah,
but
but there's not a lot of also like there's not a lot of political. I don't want to say literature. All the like the media, right? The media in China is owned by the state, so obviously it's they say yes, they say what they want you to hear. They put like.
So most of those guys, I don't think it's very rare for them. But what I would say, I'm studying political science.
They do actually. They do. There's in Shanghai. There's a school of economics and politics. So they do actually study politics. But I really wonder, like, what do they actually like
teach them?
Like, teach them.
So, it's like,
right? I wonder.
Communism is also wrong.
Yes.
At some point, if we're gonna have this dictatorship
I think,
around
of course,
it,
it's like that thing that we're talking about, or people are talking about, basically decolonizing education, right?
Yes.
So I think they try to kind of like teach it in a way that will make you still believe that, oh yeah, communism is the way to go forward. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's how they try to make sure that you're still
integrated.
Yeah.
No man, thank you. And what are you currently doing now?
Okay, right now I'm doing a lot of things. Obviously I'm a political analyst. I just started actually.
For UJFM?
I'm a resident now there.
Oh, wow. So every Monday is type
every Monday, yeah.
2 guys, Mondays. What time?
People at 8 to 7. Oh, not 8 to 7. 6 to 7. Right?
6 to 7
PM.
Monday PM.
Yeah.
UJFM Buffet. So if you wanna go check out what's happening in the country.
And even outside, you know,
okay.
we like.
And I think it's a good thing that you also have these lives at the same time. I think keep doing that.
Because a lot of people don't actually.
Maybe they might not tune in, but
they
live.
Yeah, so I'm doing that, and I also do some political analysis for YFM. But I think for YFM is when there's big things happening. Like I did the US-Iran war. I also did MK and Ramaphosa's case. So situation going on. Like, so I did that, and now I'm a resident, obviously, at UJFM. And I'm excited about that. And also, I am an intelligence analyst, but I'm an intern right now. And I'm working on a project, a newsletter project, actually. And the meeting that I had earlier in the morning, they were just telling us that, yeah, we can go ahead with the newsletter. So basically, I think I can also say I'm an editor now for a newsletter for an intelligence agency. So that's what I'm doing. And I also obviously run an NGO that is still on the ground. Really, I'm still trying.
Green project.
Yeah, Neo Green project. I'm still trying to.
No, I think the whole best part about it is starting.
Yes,
and the most difficult part of it is starting. So once you've started, you are able to almost branch off and take whatever you can take, and then. But I think with those kind of things like New Green projects, they need a lot of your time. And now time is something that I don't have because I'm doing so many things. I was just sitting and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, you're doing trillion things, bruh. You're literally doing trillion things. Mm-hmm. I'm part of the BRICS. I'm co-authoring, you know. And you have also a podcast.
I have a podcast that There's a lot of things.
Women are winning. It's a boy child. So because I can't put boy child in a part, but boy child now, man, he's not going to China. He's not going to study political science. So
Guys, yeah.
So to just jump off now.
Okay.
What's your take on boy child being left behind? Because when I look at you and some of the peers that's my peers, Kule now, it's like we haven't even reached what's the work you're doing. What's stopping us?
But like also, I'm a bit older than you guys. No, but I feel like my peers, right? My peers, people the same age, they are doing well for themselves. I'm not saying all of them, obviously, but my peers, like people close to me, are doing well. But what do I think about the boy child being left behind? I don't think a boy child is being left behind, to be quite honest.
So you are in denial that the boy child
I'm not being in denial. I feel like a boy child is being left behind by choice and lack of support from other men. The boy child's choice.
Yes.
Their choices.
That is kind of true.
Yeah.
Because I think, first of all, sorry to say this, feminism is also being used as a tool by these big companies that realize, instead of hiring men, let's hire women. And women are more likely to be like more patient.
No, I don't think so. I disagree. I think that women get the job done. We get the job done. We know what we're doing. We are focused, like we're really focused. I think most women are very focused. So I don't think it's a matter of we're being hired based off of the fact that we're patient and therefore. But I just feel the problem is that a boy child likes the hustle. The boy child likes
No, he's being pushed to the hustle.
No, I don't think so.
I would have wanted to go in the office and you're telling me 9,000 yana, I mean, push it into yana and fund my things. I think it's a problem of these companies. Red tape becomes, let's say I own a company, for me to get proper BEE points. If my CEO is going to be a woman, I'm going to get good points. So as a capitalist, what am I going to do? Must suppress a man and hire a woman, which becomes a fight, like what you're saying. It takes the fight back to us. Amachi, where it's like now we are fighting amongst each other to climb the hierarchy.
Yeah.
And when you climb the hierarchy, now you want to get married type of thing. Women now have to peel from the top. And then the guys that are left at the bottom have nothing to do. So I think for my sense, I have no problem. I'm a big time feminist. I have no problem with feminism. I just think we need to find conversations on how we can also include
the boy child. But I feel like for me, I feel like men, just like I was having a conversation with like a colleague of mine, I'd say, like he's not really my colleague, but I'm gonna call him a colleague.
Hey colleague, but explain again. Hey, are you just a colleague?
No, for real, he's a colleague,
But it's just
that because we don't actually work together, so I don't know where to put him. Like those kind of people that are just there, but like I don't know where to because I wouldn't say he's my friend because he's not my friend, okay. But also I wouldn't say like he's my colleague, but we don't work together. But it's somebody that I met along the way of my journey, So we were just having conversation about like the boy child, right? Or like men, or why men behave the way that they do. And he said something very shocking to me. He was like, it's because of women, because women don't support men. I said, what are you talking about? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and also, again, we went to the Maibuye consultation, right? They were consulting professionals in Gauteng. We went there, and then I was like, but they have to be inclusive of women and stuff like that. And he also said like, but like, why don't women start their own parties? And I was like, vice versa. Do you get me? Men should support men and try and push men in that way. But you cannot blame women for men being the way they are. And this system, by the way, it's created by men. Do you understand what I mean?
So you can also put a blame into patriarchy there.
Of course, it's patriarchy. The system itself, it's created by men, and now the system is apparently failing men. which I don't think it is failing men. I think men are still getting paid more than a lot of women in a lot of spaces.
I think in most cases, that's we all
agree. And a lot of women are not even in those positions. Even when you look at our parliament, how many women are there? Even when you
I think South Africa has reached the rights.
No, but
we're doing well towards other countries.
But we're not comparing. I'm not comparing. I'm talking just like in South Africa, the South African context, right? Mm-hmm. That women, it's still not there where we're like 50-50. There's like 50 men and there's 50 women. There's still that imbalance. Yeah, but so I think.
For me, I think it also goes to another conversation of most men are also broken in terms of.
But who broke the men?
Yeah, I think that becomes another conversation.
I think men are just men are trying to find a reason for their own yes, I'm gonna say that. Yes, you guys are wanting to kind of like
women. Now when we open up and tell you, I've been hearing how to be a man from a woman.
Okay,
do you think that's progressive?
But men are not progressive in relationships. In the workspace, just like generally, men are just like, oh my God, I don't want to make this about men bashing.
No. I think it's good that we're having this type of conversation.
Yeah.
But the thing is that women have had an opportunity from birth.
To do what?
No. Listen. Let me land. Hey. I've had an opportunity to be taught how to be women. I think before how we can even solve anything. Feminism, misandric, misogyny, we have to come in withinwards. And looking withinwards, a lot of women have been taught how to be women from kids. They've seen a strong woman becoming strong around them. Whereas some men don't have that opportunity. Single parent, another woman, we are my parents, woman, cashiers, woman. So I'm not saying anything.
So you're not saying what? So who are you? Are you also wanting to say it's the woman's fault?
No. I'm not. I'm just saying it's being used as a tool.
Okay.
It's a tool that's being used. Same way.
By who?
The neo-conglomerates of companies.
Okay.
These big companies. I would say. Who can you say? About Deloitte? Can you say Deloitte? Especially it seems that they occupy mostly in I would say accounting. A lot of women are in accounting. So companies like Deloitte, KPMG.
But those women like went to school. It's not like it's women that they just said, yeah, when I'm Nokuthula, I didn't do accounting, right?
I like that you mentioned that. So I was having a friend and he's so radicalized. He was saying he believes in opportunity of believes in equality of opportunity but not equality of outcome. So meaning with you, just because we studied the same doesn't mean you have to get the job just because of a quota system or just because you're a woman.
Yeah.
So I think it's we should take it with merits more than anything.
That's why I'm saying the argument that men normally have is, for me, it's giving we're jealous of women because finally women are able to go out there and get what they want, and we're no longer, like you've said in the beginning, like just now mentioned that as women we're taught how to be women from birth. And why are we being taught to be women from birth? We're taught that so that we can marry a man, we can have kids with the man, we can be but there's a saying that says behind every successful man there's a woman, there's a strong woman, right? So that is why we are taught to be a woman. We're not taught to be a woman so that we can succeed, we can be successful, we can be, like
I think that's one part I love about women, that they've always been groomed from birth, from Basadala, from
but we groomed to be the woman behind the successful man. We're not groomed to be the independent lady that is making her own money. Because remember, at home they will tell you, you're so lazy. Like you're lazy,
I think men are not. I think we're not ready to. Maybe I will not speak this upon myself, but I'll say men are not ready to live in a world where women are also making a lot of money.
Exactly. Men are just
But
jealous.
I think it also breaks down the home, because there's this thing that a lot of men...
Who's home? Your home. Because remember, women, right?
How is my woman going to respect me if she makes more than me?
You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying men are having these conversations now because they are jealous of the fact that women are being progressive, and now we are not. Like, for example, I don't aspire to have kids. I don't aspire to like have a husband. Like, that's not a thing that when I leave my bed in the morning, I'm like, yeah, of course, partnership, like just I'm human at the end of the day. But it's not like a thing that
go-to thing.
and so I have to get married. But yeah, you know, so it's not a thing for me. Uguti, I need to get married tomorrow. I don't have that pressure of like having kids, you know, and all of these things. So I think men are just angry at the fact that women are no longer needing them to move forward, needing them to, you know, like in anything, to be quite honest. I feel like as a woman now, we're more stronger than we've ever been, right? We don't need a man. I don't need a man to pay my rent where I live. I stay in Sandton. I pay my own rent. You know, I do my own thing.
She asked, is there parking? Is there safe parking here? But you went Bram, I don't know.
No, but for real, you know, I don't need a man for anything. Hence why even with my relationships, you find that I leave. Because guess what? I can hold my own. So I think it doesn't sit well with men, the fact that women are no longer needing them like that.
It's also another fact that women are so beggars.
Yeah, but Nina and Funa, interest off.
No, what's
Wait, Emma. When you begazela in good relationship.
Firstly, I'll say time.
Oh, Sana, let's not even go there because you're gonna speak about time. Okay, and what else?
I don't want to say money, but money becomes a sensitive thing to guys.
Okay.
Because when a local nigga 5,000, he has made 20 million. Mara local nigga maybe 5,000 last money, last. So it becomes a very sensitive, and it becomes umbegezelo for when that she must not even see what dollar. This was your last cash. That's cash. Then she just walks around as if like so I think we need our Bob the Builders. Where are the Bob the Builders?
Yep. You guys are just like you're not progressive. And then from a woman who expects to like in from you. Like as what is your expectation now if I'm your woman, for example?
I think emotional support plays a really
man. Go to a psychologist. Go to a psychologist, you know? Go to a psychologist.
You're gonna throw that mental thing on me now.
No, straight. Of course
I'm gonna say mental. Go to a psychiatrist.
You guys just want to trauma dump on women, use them as that, you know? You have your problems, you wanna come to me and say,
but don't most guys play, sorry to use this analogy, savior hope God complex?
No. No, you don't.
I think most guys also have this thing of building with, like, if we get into a relationship, I don't look into, know this one. I look into, I want to marry this person. I would like to be.
Normally, men don't marry the woman of their dreams. They marry a woman that wants to settle. Yeah.
I believe
it's true, right? It's not like that. Your dream girl now, the person that you
like. I can marry my dream girl.
Okay.
I can marry my dream girl.
One of 100.
I say men have.
But let's say now
they're the ones that can choose who to marry, while women can choose who to date.
Men but I can say no to you. I can say no to you.
To dating, yes, you can.
No, even marriage, I can say no. It's not by force.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is that now your dream lady is a CEO of KPMG. She's driving a G63. She stays somewhere in Ilovo, you know, in a beautiful house. You know, that's your dream girl. And you are still trying to push yourself. How do you feel about that?
That's what I'm saying, Gucci. In most cases, when we're into a relationship, there's this leadership role that we also want to play, whether we have money or not. And if we can't get it anywhere else, and you find that most guys, the only thing within a woman that makes so much money, the only thing that you are willing to offer was money, which he doesn't have. So I would say to...
Can I also say, can I add something?
Yeah.
It's not all women that are like that.
No,
And
but
it's not a lot of them that are like that, to be quite honest. Even when you go to the township, you see how most women are holding down the home. Like, I grew up in a home where my grandmom, like my granddad and my grandmom, when they were both alive, my grandmom Beguye, who was making sure that there's food on top of the table. And my granddad was just like, yeah, I'm just leaving YOLO.
Steady
I'm relaxed, Mina, you know? No, like he wasn't even like that. But I'm just saying, Guti, and a lot of homes in your townships or even in the rural areas, you find that women are the ones that are providing, you know? So I feel like what men use, like a few girls in Senten and a few girls on Instagram to kind of like make it like a whole thing, an overview of like, this is how women are, this is how women, and a lot of women, to be quite honest, a lot of women, when they like you for real, your money don't matter like that.
Again, with now this once again, yes, take it in the sense of it's an ego thing. We want to feel somehow in a leadership role, and you find that how are you gonna be a leader if your finance also not up?
But again, that's a main thing.
Can I ask, how would you deal with dating someone that makes not even close to what you're making?
I mean, I wouldn't date them because, like, it's the truth. Truth of the matter is that, right? I wouldn't date them because of exactly that. I don't want to date somebody who's constantly gonna feel insecure and then make me feel insecure. And men are good at doing that. Like, they will make you feel like you are insecure and try to bring you down with them, you know? And in that, they tend to be abusive. In those kind of relationships, you find that the woman that's making the money or the woman that's bringing the bread home is in most cases abused. Whether it's emotional abuse, whether it's physical abuse, because like you've said, the man doesn't feel like they have power. So what's the other thing that I can do to make you feel like you're small? You know what I'm trying to say? Because Gwami Auzuba, the CEO or the boss lady. Yeah, but so I wouldn't date somebody who I feel like is not making as much money as I'm making, or is not even on the same level that I'm at. Because that rules abuse. It's not preference. It shouldn't ever be preference. Like you've said it now, that like men are struggling with like leadership, right? Hence why these conversations are now coming on to say, oh no, but like a boy child is being left behind. All of these conversations is because men still want to feel like they're on top of the food chain, but now they're realizing that they're no longer on top of the food chain, right? And in the South African context, we see it a lot also. The rape cases constantly going up. We see it in the crime rates constantly going up, GBV going up. And I'm telling you, if we were to do research about these cases of GBV, you'll find that in most cases, I'm not saying all cases, right? In most cases, the woman is the one that's actually bringing back the money. But for the man to feel that power, you know, or for him to feel good about himself, he then abuses you just so that he can make you feel small and have that kind of ownership towards you. And oppress you. It's very bad. So that's why I'm saying, for me as a woman, I would never do that to myself, you know? I think Ghosty has a question.
Oh, Ghosty.
Okay, I want to know, like, do you think there is something that can be done, like, since we're like, you know, like progressing into like new age, men coming to terms that women are also being able to play the same roles as them. I think there's more that we can do to kind of like help that process become much easier.
For who? For the men.
For the men, yes, and society in general.
I think this men conference should actually take place. In my view, right, the only way that men are gonna pull up their socks is if other men that they look up to, because really men listen to other men. To be quite honest, men listen to other men. Men are scared of other men. Do you realize that? For me, where I grew up in Elokshini, and I feel like I didn't have like a lot of people asking me out because I had two older brothers. So because they were scared of my brothers, like nobody would approach me because they're like, oh, do you get what I'm trying to say? But men don't listen to women.
I think it's a good thing that men listen to men, but now it becomes a problem if, for instance, I'll take it in my example. I was always yearning to, especially coming in a household where it's just women in the house, women, I grew up
Yeah.
with women. So you start to look for this masculinity. And wherever you see it, you wouldn't even choose, you quickly just draw
Just
it.
want to.
And when you realize what you're drawing into you is really toxic men, womanizers, amakrotmanasile.
Amakrotmanasile.
So
Yeah.
comes the problem with how do we create a conducive environment? Do you think women should be separated from men and we slanganing a meeting?
I think, like, for me, I understand what you're saying.
Too crazy, guys. Crazy. What do you mean we separate?
No, we're not separating. But what I'm trying to say is that even
could it prevent things like GBV as well?
It wouldn't. Let me tell you, even if as a woman now I can come up with an initiative, right? And I'm saying, let the boy child not be left behind, right? As a woman, and I bring other women like to come through, you know, and I'm like, okay, guys, let's have this movement where we're inviting young men to speak to them about this and that and that. It is still going to not have an effect as much as it doesn't, because a lot of homes, a lot of kids are raised by their mothers.
Yes.
Right?
Some of them. Mamzo.
Exactly. So a lot of us, and so that's why I'm saying men generally don't listen to women. Like you've said yourself, you want that male
figure.
But maybe we need male figures abangasanga. Anis wa makrotman. So if these men conferences says for makrotman angasanga, they're not gonna speak to other young people.
But
yes.
When we look into when you deep dive, makrotman agrand, makrotman angagangang.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need someone oganginyan. This is wrong.
Yeah, I think so. I think it balance but I think these conversations really should happen between men.
Yes.
And in Ishaya and Futsi in those conferences.
Yes.
Yeah, but
so I think at the same time it's not about getting the roadman right because it's like for me, I have this analogy with it. If my pastor was not an ex-drug lord or whatever, I don't want him. Because I know he's about to speak some knowledge into this new church as a reformed man.
Okay. As a person that has been there, done that,
got the t-shirt. Yeah. Right now,
do you know a good example of how women actually got to this point, right? Where we are progressive and like it's because there's constantly conversation among women. You understand what I'm trying to say? On TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you go, there's always constant communication with women to say, as a girl child, go to school. As a girl child, get your own. Yeah, but we kind of like grew up with that message. And hence why you find that a lot of us young women are doing what we're doing, because there was a lot of conversation around and by women. It wasn't by men. You understand what I'm saying? Even us now, getting to a point where we're like, we're decentering men. We understand how men are toxic. Men will never get you where you want to go. Like if
one thing I say to women, when the barbarians are at the door, masculinity ceases to be toxic.
Exactly.
So I think it's a good thing that some toxic men are still around and alive. Because when wars is coming by the door, are we gonna send feminized women?
You know what we were saying, Ghosty? Men are not progressive. And you will observe this conversation with your boy child is being left behind. Because a lot of men really have this thinking. They have this thinking of wanting to make money early, having
get
this thing, get rich quick. I can do anything for money, you know. Yeah, and it's problematic, all of those thoughts. And even with young women, we're seeing it now with the rise of Nigerian men in this country, right?
No, because
No, yeah, it's a security concern, right? It's a security concern.
But I have no problem with it. I think
No. I'm not. I need to let me land. Let me land, right? I think what I've realized about, but it's not all Nigerian. I'm not I don't want to say all Nigerian. Having Nigerian men dating our younger women, right? It creates that conception for them that money is everything and I can do anything for money, right? Like, I don't mind. I can even sell you, man, as long as I'm going to get like 100K to get that bag at Louis Vuitton. You know, I can launder money. I don't mind that, so long as I'm getting a cut from these crimes. You get what I'm trying to say? Do you see where? So a lot of young women are growing up now with this kind of idea, right? That it's destructive.
No, but otherwise,
Yeah.
Ghosty
Okay.
has a few questions for you.
Now let's go, Ghosty.
Okay, so we heard a bit about your podcast as well. So we want to know, like, since you're running this podcast, what exactly is it that connects you to what is it that connects you to the politics, and why do you think that podcasts would become such a powerful platform to speak more about youth politics?
Because, you know, initially when I started that political podcast, right, it was because I felt like there was a gap where young people don't have these conversations or these political conversations. You know, I felt like we don't have these serious conversations about what's really happening. Like, everybody's trying to dodge, you know, politics, even within your friend groups. Every time when you try to speak about politics, Nokuthula, please, leave us alone. Yeah, you know. So I wanted to do something very laid back, just me and a friend talking about serious things that are happening. I think that was my approach. Like, that's what I wanted to basically do with my podcast, you know. And I still find it hard to have people around, like, to actually have people to talk to. Like, people don't want to engage in politics. People don't want to engage in politics.
And for me, it's more astounding. I'm sure even now at Dago to see females also enticingly participating in politics. It becomes a great story now.
Yeah. So I think young people still don't want to have political conversations. They just feel like it's not what they're trying to do. And especially people that are not studying towards a political degree, you know, they just feel like that's something that they don't worry about. And this brings me to my next point to say humanities or a BA degree, right, is very important in a sense that it brings awareness, you know, about subjects that people normally don't want to engage in. If we're all studying STEM, if we're all studying accounting, if we're all studying engineering, right, if we're all doing those courses, we're not going to move forward as a country, to be quite honest. I don't want to start saying things, but like, I do think like it's very important to have political majors and, you know, international relations majors and public governance majors.
Yeah, it brings awareness to what's happening
Yeah.
in the world, and like it also brings awareness to the people that are like leading the world, and I think it's very important for like the youth to be aware.
And the critical thinking aspect of it, you know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to bring different people from different backgrounds to just have conversations in a fun way, in a chilled way, about politics. Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
My next question is I want to know more about you personally. How do you balance ambition with service, with the service of wanting to reach high, but also give back meaningfully to society and the community?
I think there's never a balance, to be quite honest, right? Because if you want something, there's always this edge within you to always want to do more. You know, you, like I said earlier, that yesterday I was just sitting down and I was like thinking to myself, oh my God, dude, you're doing a trillion things at once. Like, you're doing so many things, you know. But I do try here to find balance in my personal life as well. I do Pilates, which has taught me so much about the body and the mind, that alignment. And there's one concept that you learn when you do Pilates, is that you always need to listen to your body, like be aware, be one with your body. So I always try to listen to my body when I'm doing things, you know, when I'm tired, I'm like, I'm tired now, I don't want to do this. I listen to my body and I take time. And with giving back to community, really, I think the conversation we're having earlier, like somebody said to me, oh, you're turning Instagram into LinkedIn, you know.
Let's
Low-key
do it.
hates me.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Low-key,
do it.
low-key the person hates me,
Instagram
but
has been
yeah,
cool.
but
But it's a bit positive than Twitter. It's like
Yeah.
not everyone bashes each other like that.
Yeah, but you know, so in that way, that's how I get to inspire people. Like, you know, there's people that are stuck in their career. They know that it's something that they don't want to do. They know that they want to do more, you know, or they have love for something different. And seeing me trying to make this politics thing work, you know, and politics is a male dominated industry, you know. It's not a lot of women that are passionate about politics, that really want to speak politics, you know, like all of that. So I feel me posting about my journey, me speaking about my journey, me really, you know, being out there about the difficulties that I face in my journey. I was even saying one time on my Instagram stories or in my LinkedIn profile, which is aka Instagram, that like I cry more than I do laugh, you know, because it's so difficult. You do a lot of work unpaid, you know, but it's just you understanding that you need to start somewhere for you to get to a place where you want to be. Yeah, so I think that's how I give back to community, and obviously with the New Green projects, which is also trying to my NGO, yeah, that is also trying to give back basically. Yeah.
Were you okay with those? But yeah, man. But otherwise, thank you very much. I think we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
Once again, such an amazing person, spirit.
One more. Okay, she has one more. Posty.
One more.
Okay.
On my side. I want to like just hear like a word of advice that you would give to parents or just people listening. How do you think they should like carry themselves going forward, like in making themselves aware of more like political issues, feminism as well? We also touched on that. Like, what is your advice to the listeners to
be more politically aware?
Yeah, give themselves more awareness. Like besides media, maybe not everyone is on that side of media.
Okay, I think obviously the first one is, I mean, watching a lot of news. I think that's the first thing that kind of like makes you know what's really going on. But I also think a lot of reading, you know, like reading a lot, reading your books that speak about politics, and but I feel like those things, you have to be really politically interested to get to that level where you're reading a lot of political literature and so forth. Angazi advice, yes, but I guess it's podcasters, you know, like Max, having more fun like more fun content around politics, you know, and not making it too like serious. Hey manje, ucabanga Nelson Mandela. Kubone, like, okay, boring. But like yeah, so I think maybe having more podcasters that are gonna make politics fun. And it was something I was telling the girls that I do Monday with. I said,
you said on
no, UJFM, yeah, that I just want it to be more fun than it is like a serious issue, because sometimes you lose people when you're being too serious. So let's just make it fun. Let's just speak seriousness, but like in a fun way, in a more engaging way, in a more basic level way. I'm not gonna get there and use words like individualism now, you know, all of these big words that people don't know. So we're just making it fun. Make it an everyday thing, like ekasi kwenzeka so yabona, like those kind of things. Yeah. So I think making it more digestible.
Okay. Yeah. To anyone watching this right now, how do you think they could really help out with the Neo Green and try and see where they could also patch in and help? Because I think we all need help as the youth. Yeah, well, as much as, even if it means guys go check out just even the manifesto, and how do you?
I think Neo Green is still in its inception. It's been for a couple of months now, because it's like I'm saying, I'm struggling with not struggling, but like, you know, I'm busy with other things.
But that's what I'm saying. If you could also raise more
awareness about it. Okay,
because
maybe let me just give you a bit of an overview of what we're trying to achieve with New Greens. So basically, I'm a big mental health advocate, and and also my research is based off of that, like the effectiveness of mental health programs in public schools. Because I realized that a lot of we just tend to say no, kids are not doing well in school, especially in public school. That lava, they're not they're not the sharpest or whatever. Everything else, and we just make it about the child. But do we look at where the child is coming from, the environment, the issues that they may be having? You'd be so shocked about the stats, that around 9% of young people aged 14 to 21 kill themselves. I mean, or commit suicide, right? You ask yourself, what does a 14-year-old know about that? Like, how did they even get there? To that point, right? So New Greens is basically trying to use new technologies like AI and all of, we're still trying to figure out, but it essentially we want to create an app, a free app basically, where kids can just have what's this, counseling without actually going to pay money or go like face to face. We just want to make it a very simple click thing. When you feel like you're feeling a bit down, you can just click and then be able to speak with a psychologist. So we're trying to really work on that. It's a long process. We have engaged with some IT guys. We did speak about the building of the app, what it would take, and all of these things. So it's something that I really need to put my time and effort into it. And I'm really, really trying to make it work.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
You must send me some of the documents there.
I'll send you. Yeah.
And on the other side, how else can people reach you? How do you think they should engage with you? Because you don't strike me as someone that wants to also live private. I think you would also love to attend more podcasts, and I think a lot of we need to advocate for you to bang then. So how do you think they should go about?
Okay.
Because I think maybe coming to your personal as well feels too personal. It's too personal. Hey,
I know you can DM me. I don't mind. I'm not very. I'm not that kind of a person. In fact, time. No, you can. It's fine if you, as long as you're speaking things that are sensible, obviously.
Yes.
But if I have the time, I'll definitely, answer to your DM. Even if you want advice, maybe how to get into career, some of the steps that maybe perhaps I took, and you need that advice, you can always DM me, right?
Okay.
So you can find me on Instagram. I'm very on Instagram.
Yes.
If I say I'm turning it into LinkedIn. Yeah. So you can follow me there. I'm on Instagram at Tulike _ Khumalo. So maybe you're gonna put it just down below.
Yes.
Tulike _ Khumalo. So you can follow me there, and obviously if you want to collaborate, for me to come into your podcast, or if perhaps there's other things that you'd like for us to collaborate on, you can always DM me there. Yeah.
No, definitely. And I don't know, from my side, thank you once again for coming. Yeah. You still look amazing.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you.
No, like also what I say is big, right? Thank you for inviting me. And I think, this is such a great platform. And you're interviewing very big people that have substance. And I think, I'm a big player. But I think just really continue doing it. And don't let laziness get into the way. Just continue doing it. And sometimes it's not about the numbers, but
yes, it's true. I think I've through that side of numbers
are out of the question. Yeah, it's not about that. Yes. It's also about reach. There's those few 5, 10, 20 people.
My reach is even more crazy. I prefer having a reach with someone like this.
Yes.
Who goes down to we met at the library. I will follow into your just can you follow?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure. And then but what do you guys talk about? It's you opened it.
Yeah.
It's like I opened it. So then we went on, she has ideas, and
you guys ended up collaborating.
This is something I've always been wanting, to get real energy that wants to also do something. Because I was telling her, let's also do you. What are you doing? Yo, Khalemo, my bro, is also doing videography and photography.
You see,
Mr. Cliff here is running the whole media house. Yeah, well, So thank
Mr. Cliff is doing the Lord's work.
Yeah,
Ungasiyenzisa ibe-ash. That's the Okay. No, I know. I trust.
The only problem is that my people are showing.
And I
Cliff, man, he's the way to play it out.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, Shane, Max. Yeah,
No.
yeah, it was a great conversation.
Yeah, no, let's shut it down. And I don't know, from the production team, anyone that wants to say anything, you guys never speak.
Everyone is just always quiet. Hi.
But
Okay.
thank you guys, and another episode. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow the page. And if let's say you guys wanna also record your podcast, photography, check out Malume Snaps, check out Tumi Africa Studios. Don't forget to check out Clavis and Mtulo Africa. That's where you find it. That's how it goes. Thank you guys.